Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where you and Kim are getting along so well that you briefly completely physically merged into one creature there. Did you see that?
I did. That was pretty good.
Kim's on some real cryptid shit lately.
He's having a day, yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him. Also, he explicitly said that he wasn't going to walk in front of you because it's a bad idea because of the Jamrock Shuffle. But he keeps doing it. And that's fucked.
Yeah.
How can you trust a guy like that? Where are you going? What's the plan? What's
I'm
up
gonna
today,
have
Amabel?
Pharmacy?
Okay.
There's a pharmacy somewhere.
There's a pharmacy. Freet.
Okay, it's over here.
Yeah.
Alright. Because I'm out of
Drugs.
mental health
Drugs.
medicines.
Yeah.
Is this about the question?
Okay, hang on. Is it?
A colorful display of
No, I
cigarettes
don't want
there,
that.
in that dark.
Okay, where? Let me push the tab button. Where is it? This one?
Yeah, I think so.
A
Okay.
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, the magnesium is the brain stuff?
Yeah, you
Okay,
should be.
here.
There we
I
go.
hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
I was gonna say you should be getting mouse overs. I don't know why you weren't at first, but you are now.
Okay, health. Oh, okay, well, this is...
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
That's good.
Okay, here.
There we go. Like, I'm pretty good for, like, my health,
Damn,
but...
just fucking,
What?
Just fucking take a hit right there in front of everybody. In front of God and the Freet Lady.
Okay, so... My deal today, I need... Okay, so I can't get to the fishing village yet.
Correct. So it's
Okay. Can't do this until tomorrow. This is probably something that is across the thing.
Seems like.
Dice Maker, 8 hours from 11:44, and right now it is what time?
If you close this, you can see.
That is not enough hours that passed. Okay. So my thing right now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go inside because it is raining out.
But you have this.
And-
You have this excellent raincoat.
I do, but my board game does not.
Well, how do you know that? Where are you keeping it?
Once I take the board game out of my jacket,
Oh, are you about to play some suzerainty with Kim?
yeah, I need to pass time. This will do it. Okay.
Yes?
Oh no, I wanna.
You initiate
Interact.
this. Yeah, you initiate this from the suzerainty game.
The suzerainty box is heavy and slightly awkward in your
Alright.
hands.
All right, good
You
luck.
give it a light shake and feel the pieces shift around inside.
Come on.
Have you tried goading him?
Oh, I don't like this. Oh no, I don't make him feel bad.
Well, it doesn't seem like you're going to. So
You just chickening out because you know I'd crush your ass.
it's a very.
In your dreams, maybe. I've thrashed my share of trash talkers before. Now come on, let's put childish things aside.
That was an extremely natural line reading. You definitely sound like a person who's spoken English before.
Thank you. Okay, actually, okay, I got another +1. This might be doable.
At this point, plain badgering may be your best bet.
Oh no. Come on, Kim, please.
The lieutenant sighs so hard. For a moment, it seems like he may asphyxiate.
Oh, is he? But I failed. So he's not gonna play. He's gonna say something. It's gonna be hurtful. Oh,
All right, detective, you win. How do we play this game?
I did read the rules already. I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant. who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you. In the center is the crown of Revachol. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sara Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
Uh-oh. He's a pro. He's been hustling you.
All right, detective, your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns?
Okay, I'm not crazy, right? That's not how fulfill is spelled.
So that is the way fulfill is spelled in certain parts of the English-speaking world.
Okay.
Like the UK. That is. Yeah.
No.
No, I'm sorry, sweetheart. It is. They also spell a lot of words wrong.
I know they do, and this appears to be one of them. That's fucked.
I will let my workers rest for a while to rearrange them, I guess. And that seems like the one that corresponds to that.
What? It's the very beginning of the game. Your workers haven't even done any work yet.
I'll let them rest anyway.
There's no concept of rest in suzerainty. Workers have to work. You produce a handful of archaeological treasures and a smattering of other resources. Meanwhile, the lieutenant spends 2 of his sugar and 1 of his apricot tokens to complete his contract card. He is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
I will glower. I'm not gonna. No. Have I ever, in the time we play games together, ever like, can I do my turn over? I haven't, because that's what babies do, and I'm not a baby. So I'm gonna glower silently instead, like an adult.
Okay, yeah, that's
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin.
Oh. I love that I didn't really have the option to...
Glancing over the board,
To be
you
smart.
see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. What do you do?
Press more workers into service.
Using your powers of persuasion, you convince more workers to join your cause.
Oh, that doesn't feel great.
indeed.
After several turns, your worker tokens greatly outnumber the lieutenant's. A vast army of expendable labor is at your command.
I will gaze on my workers like a harsh but proud deity.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points.
What do you mean?
Take a look at the scoring tables in the back.
The lieutenant turns to one of those appendices you skipped over earlier.
You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5.
So you're saying the values of the whirling class are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who generate their wealth?
Yes, precisely.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre territory. Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots. How can you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard.
Calm down, Half-Light. It is a game.
You're having an
For
emotional
several
reaction.
turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Sara Maritza. where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens. You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points.
7. Oof.
Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together like cocaine and rock music.
Thank you, electrochemistry.
You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
I am trying to win this game. Rock and roll, baby, and I go for the contract.
It takes several turns, but you slowly begin accumulating the cocaine necessary to complete the contract. When you do, it practically rains cardboard coins on your side. Feels good, doesn't it? But you know what would feel even better?
Solving the murder?
Drugs, specifically uppers. You should find some the first chance you get.
No. Stop trying to make me do drugs.
While you daydream about speed, the lieutenant has built himself a formidable economic engine of his own.
Yeah, I kind of knew Kim was going to be a sharp player.
The end game is upon you. How will you spend the vast resources you've acquired for the glory of the suzerain? Flipping through the manual, you find the most expensive structure in the game, the Revacholian victory column, worth 12 victory points. If you can successfully build it, victory will be all but assured.
I'm almost certain. Well, go ahead.
Revacholian victory column is definitely an innuendo, right?
Probably. Also, I feel like if it's worth 12 victory points, it is probably like extremely inefficient. Like the amount of resources I put in to get those 12 victory points are less than if I built 2 or 3 smaller things.
Alternatively, you could try launching a trade war to crush the lieutenant's economy, or you could blow all that money on a public education system for your worker tokens.
Oh, now getting left-wing options again.
The choice is yours.
I'm going back and forth like, oh yeah, I want to win, but actually,
Is not gaining experience points the truest victory?
yeah, I'm metagaming here. I am building a public education system for my workers.
There's a reason very few players ever attempt to build a public education system for their worker tokens. It's extremely expensive and never pays off by design.
It pays off for me, though, because you know what I do when I play a board game, sweetheart?
What's that?
I play for second place.
That does explain some things.
That's why I've always come in second place when you and I play a game together.
That was the joke I was making, yes.
Also, it explains a lot about when I play solo games. Nothing? That one doesn't... Okay.
No, I'm just gonna I'm gonna let you hang. You got it.
Your boondoggle nearly bankrupts the suzerain's treasury, and you suffer a significant penalty to your final score.
Ouch.
This stupid game is rigged.
Come on, detective. You knew the rules of the game going in.
I did. And actually, I really like this because it reflects the way in which games often do just take the values of the culture they're produced in and replicate them unthinkingly. And like I like this. I like that this wasn't just like a weird little thing to do, but is a thing that is fully engaged with the themes of the work. This was neat.
Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score. -5 victory points. You'll be lucky if the suzerain doesn't have your whole family executed for such a pitiful performance.
Okay, how many points do you think Kim has?
So the biggest thing you can do is worth like 12, and you were like, if I add this 12 to my 7, I'll be basically unbeatable. I think Kim has 14 victory points.
I've got 20 points.
Fuck.
Well, there's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again. Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
You hold the open game box before you.
I put the game away. Okay. Oh yeah. How am I doing on that thought?
You are 6
6
minutes
minutes.
from completion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good way to spend your red checks fail time, I guess.
Very specifically, yeah. All right. So like the things I have on my list to do are all things that I can't do now. So I am gonna go back to the bookstore. I'm gonna look for a book that
Okay.
I can read to pass the time.
This is your best. This is detective work to you.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart.
Okay, but my leads I have to follow.
Sit around, collect overtime, play Candy Crush on your phone. I guess you would make a good cop.
Unless there's a lead I'm missing.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. Browsing through all the books, suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover.
That's Irv with a W? Am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Ow.
Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Time is commerce.
Maybe that one. What's over here again?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and
Right.
biographies of. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy
The point
one.
of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
I will find something truly otherworldly
Yeah,
with this
Maybe you will.
83%.
Or maybe you'll roll a 2 again.
Be nice to me.
I'm just saying.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf.
Whoa.
Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
What's the pail?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's this book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab.
I'm not sure this is the kind of book I think it is. It sounds invigorating.
It is, and good for the circulation too.
What
It
else?
also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pail. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pail and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Okay, I think I've heard enough.
You don't feel like that's maybe something your character might need? In
Oh
fact?
no, yeah, I'm gonna buy this book.
Okay.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Don't we all?
All right, so let me get my
The
bot.
precarious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
All right, and what are our bonuses? Okay.
That seems pretty all right.
Yeah, it seems pretty all right. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm going to look at my book that I just got. Okay, here it is. Let's.
A small green book giving off a peculiar foreboding impression, though it's hard to figure out why. It describes the various ways of healing debilitating ailments through the use of pale, some of which sound implausible at best.
All right, let me interact with this.
Medicinal purposes of the pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols.
I will open the book.
Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials,
Oh no.
readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Is there anything in there about restoring lost memories?
There are a number of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
Okay, well then I just want something that will soothe the relentless torment of my existence.
What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that.
No, that's not anything about curing it. You know, alcohol culture is so deep in this world and ours. Ugh. Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover.
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot?
All right, book, let's see what you got.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Oh, I like where this is going.
I like ginger, I don't like mint. I don't know what meadow rue is. What is rue? Do you know?
It's a plant, right?
I guess. I will pick ginger root.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
He has drank enough, I think, so I'm gonna go with boil it with a tea made from birch bark.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I do have a sweet tooth, so I'll go with a spoonful of sugar.
The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins.
Oh, the toxins.
The sugar just makes it taste better. The very thought of this tea causes your muscles to relax and your mind to clear. You're more present and in control than you were a moment ago.
I will savor the feeling a moment longer.
A tingle rushes down your spine, and you feel your toes uncurl. If only it could always be like this.
Okay, I will put the book away. That was great. I like that a lot, actually.
When you savored the feeling a moment longer, 16 minutes passed. You were just standing on that stairway, right in front of Kim, eyes closed, going, for 16 minutes.
Okay, so 1944 is what I'm looking for my dice.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, call Alice back in a day. I did call her. Okay, so what do I have left to do while I'm waiting for time to pass? And this is sometime after 2100 tomorrow, he said, not today. Well, any suggestions?
Yeah. Talk to people, solve murder cases, arm wrestle Kim, make out with Kim.
I don't think that's an option the game is giving me. And who haven't I talked to already? Oh.
You know, explore. Look for stuff to touch and investigate.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Okay, I've already been through all these dialogue options, so catch you later, Cindy. Alright, yeah, let's go back to the apartment building, I guess, and see if there's anyone there I haven't yacked at yet. You know, there was this whole... I didn't actually go in this room, I don't think.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
The sea below looks
Shift
cold
into
and winter gray.
The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Didn't mean to interrupt you there, sweetheart. I just didn't want to miss the thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I will rub my sides for warmth.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
Her face?
Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan?
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
I look around myself.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
I will shiver. Well, that was neat. Okay. There's nothing else here I have to look at.
Except that big ass hole in the wall.
Wait, where?
Right there?
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't seem to go. Oh, there we are. Okay.
Yeah, you have to
Like-
click. You have to click where there's floor.
Okay, well, I was trying to find if there was a floor, and I didn't see it. Alright, health item and money, and there's something here.
An old grocery list on the table and checks.
Okay, nothing else over here. I just go out this door. Okay, I'm going out this way. Alright. Already been in there.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply.
Okay. Alright, so I'm still just trying to find ways to pass time till I pick up my dice and retire for the night. So I'm... Nothing in here. This was the door I was scared of?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't do anything with it now. Let's see. I've kind of done all the things out here that I can do. I've been in here. Or no, I haven't, because I can't, it's locked.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I can't get up there. At least not from... Is there a way... Okay, so if I wonder, if I go back into the yard, can I go in through that little doorway and climb up onto the roof and use that to climb over onto the... I don't know, something to do, something to try while I... What was that sound? While I figure out what my... deal's gonna be. Okay, there's a... Can I get over here? No? No, I can't seem to walk over here.
That's like up on
An
the...
inconspicuous pile of the roofing
Okay.
material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Well, I'll try anyway. Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material?
Because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid pallets. Easy on the eyes. Rhythmic pattern. Calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff.
That's really interesting.
No. There's more to this. You get this strange feeling.
What feeling?
Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones.
Alright, I leave. Alright, now how do I get... Is that in the whirling? Oh, there's like a... Okay. How am I able to see that?
Same way you're able to see everything by looking down on it from a sort of 3/4 isometric perspective.
Yeah, that doesn't. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
What do you mean? You're looking right at it.
Yeah, but it's so. Where was that in relation? Hang on. So if I go out onto the thing. Yeah. So how do I get up on that roof? There's a door there. Okay. So I'll go back in here. Maybe I can find that door.
Maybe.
It's not going to be from one of these rooms. Is it?
I don't know, is it?
The door is closed.
Oh, this is the ladies' room.
This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. As you hold the metal, you sense the warmth left there by her hand.
Okay, electrochemistry. I don't want any of the misogynistic outbursts, so I'm gonna leave. This is Kim's room.
Listen, electrochemistry is at least as horny for sex as it is for drugs.
Okay, so how would I get on that? Wait, is that that's a mirror, right? Or is that a door?
That's a door.
Have I gone through that door before?
Nope.
Have I missed the door this whole time? Well, I just can't open it then. Okay.
I mean, it pretty obviously would lead into Kim's room if you could.
Oh, right, yeah. You're so good at, like, space. Spatial relationships. Alright,
If only there was some kind of door in the whirling that you'd seen but couldn't get
Oh, okay.
somewhere. I don't know where it would be. Or,
Yeah, I tried to open that and I couldn't
maybe it could
get
be
it
like a sort of a nice color. I don't know. I love you.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
I try to push on the door.
The door does not budge.
I touch the
The
door.
cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side.
Okay, so let me talk to Gart. Gart, can you open that door for me?
Can I help you?
Gart, I saw another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it? Do you have ...
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frick warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
Okay, I'll spot the phone line while I'm here.
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
That's pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
Is it true that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonorable.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. plenty of arseholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
Okay. Something else I want to talk about?
Yes?
Goodbye. That's what I want to talk about.
It's all anyone ever wants to talk about with Gart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Alright, and I can't try this check again with this asshole. I've locked it, right?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Ugh.
He gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I need more on authority, and I think where my next point is going to go is in volition to try to read those files. So I'm going to take off now. How am I doing on that, by the way? I got like 25 points left. It's 1706, which is like still 2 hours from dice time. I've already talked everything I could talk about with Lena, right?
Oh, hello, dear. There you
I
are.
guess
again.
not. So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
I mean, he's right, but like, you don't just say that to like the lady about her husband. That's rude.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
Calling it a hobby also just kind of.
Well, it's a very French pronunciation. Do we know he didn't say hubby? It's got a very what was that guy's name? Jacques Girard? Is that the name of the character from Talladega Nights? You know? It's
Okay, yeah.
It's a little.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Tell me more about morale, looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
Well, what does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Okay, I'm not gonna do the fifth one because I'm really trying just to minimize the amount that Kim is disappointed in me as much as possible. I know there's more of it in my future.
Yeah.
So I just
Try to ration
I'm
it out.
worried. Yeah, because
Okay.
here's the thing: I did not think I was going to end up becoming a regular cop by choosing what I thought were the most considered options.
The most
And
regular. The most normal. The most sort of standard gray, sort of gray-brown paper
human
bag,
fighter.
cardboard box.
Yeah. But what I'm worried about is that somewhere the game is keeping track of all the times that Kim sighs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried. I'm worried that Kim's gonna not like me. So I'm gonna not do that. And instead, do the very responsible thing and try to convince her to tell me about some cool cryptids that Kim will definitely not sigh about.
No, he'll be way into this.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
But Kim, that's the best kind of extravaganza.
Cryptid extravaganza. I like the sound of that. He's gonna sigh though. He already throw me one of his. Oh.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're familiar enough with them to just. It's one of his looks. That's one of those. I recognize that.
Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid, promise. Also, I like the way he pronounced extravaganza. That was very good.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids. Let's hear about all the interesting cryptids.
Electrochemistry is at least as horny for cryptids.
Do you think our character is a monster fucker?
I have never played a character who wasn't, but I think that's,
That's fair.
Ooh, tough choice there.
What's the big... I'll just... what was the choice?
Kim did say one.
Yeah, so the biggest is very obvious, right? That's an obvious thing to go for. Tiniest is interesting. Dangerous, like... My character is a dangerous man, mostly to himself. Yeah, what's the most dangerous cryptid?
The gnome of Jeroma.
The gnome of Jeroma? That sounds terrifying.
Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What does this cryptid look like?
It was, reportedly, a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at.
Kim, are you sketching? Are you taking notes?
A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it.
You don't often see the word tarpaulin written out. I'm used to seeing it just as tarp.
It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Kim, you are harshing the vibe, and I heard that tone in that second question.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
I'll ask one more. What's the tiniest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Right, okay. We can move on for now.
It would be dishonorable to renege on this promise.
He nods approvingly.
That's all for now, ma'am.
I would never have promised such a thing.
I know.
I would have taken Kim to the extravaganza. And I believe I did. I believe I did do that.
It's good to know one of the ways in which our playthroughs have been different. You know, I still haven't been able. I'm still not allowed to watch her playthrough, viewers. She has forbidden me.
No, well, there's a really, I think, quite valuable thing. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. But the point is,
The worn and
we're not
beaten
yet. We're not there
planks
yet.
of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You're such an interesting and daring man, Kim.
You can
Sitting on
revisit the
benches.
bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
What do you mean gone? What do you mean? What do you mean gone?
You know, if something should happen to him, or
No.
say he falls in
No,
a big,
I-
say he
I-
falls in a big hole, a criminal shoots him in the face, or lures him into a
No.
big hole, or if he's chasing a
I-
suspect and he falls into a big hole.
Oh, there's that sound again. What is?
It's probably your own spine. I'm pushing 40 and my spine is making all kinds of noises I don't recognize lately.
No, definitely. There's like a sound that I've heard. I just heard it again. I hear it like in this area.
When you're right next to that big electrical object there.
Oh, is that what that? Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense now. All right. Okay, so how else can I pass the time if I pick up my dice? I can't talk to Titus again. I can't. There's no one for me to beat up again. Can't beat up the guy again.
Kicking people's asses passes the time.
Looking for something?
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
I didn't remember who this guy was.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge.
Change
Yeah.
the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by
No.
design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Hey Kim, let me
If
borrow
this
the
guy's
gun.
all the Occidentals have, well, let's just say he's not exactly ripped.
Right, I've already made up my mind. Want to hear it? I'm gonna jump ahead to kicking this guy's ass.
Oh?
The man seems mildly disappointed that you don't want to hear more of his lecture.
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fudge yourself?
Don't push your luck, runt.
Run! The man gives you a disgusted look, then turns his attention elsewhere, ignoring your presence. Kim, let me borrow the gun for a second.
Yeah. Oh, there's a door there. I did not see that door before.
Your selective awareness is really something.
I bet your viewers are just like, what on earth is wrong with this person? Why can't I see like the most obvious things? And look, I'm still not used to navigating 3D spaces in games.
This is a
lorry
two-dimensional
stuck in
space.
the traffic jam.
No.
This big, heavy, grass-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
I look in the window.
The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
Bug. What about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Jesus.
A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This definitely scared him a little. You being here.
Can I go pick a fight with that guy now, then? Oh, okay.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
It is great fun.
No, you shouldn't. You're an officer of the law.
Kim, I think I should tell people to fuck off more often. It felt really good.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
Fuck yeah, motherfuckers.
That's the spirit.
You sound very, very natural saying that.
Oh. I like that I like that I'm healing health through these checks. That's really rad.
Never forget, the whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
I reflexively threw up the horns. I didn't even mean to do it.
Oh, okay. Can I beat up this guy?
Looking for something odd?
No. Okay.
Just walk around town mauling people until you've accumulated 10 XP.
I mean, here's the thing, like, I have things to do, but I have to wait at the pastime in order to do them.
Well, it's a good thing you've fully investigated everything that you can and had all the conversations with all the important people, and there's nothing else to do.
You are correct, I am not always the most observant.
Yeah.
So if there is someone I'm missing that's, like, really obvious that I haven't talked to, like, you could do me a favor and be like, hey, you should talk to that person.
But the thing is, I can't steer, or it would just be my playthrough exists already. The viewers can go watch that.
Okay, but you need, like, 2 more episodes waiting for me to pick up my dice.
If they want to see what it looks like when a professional does it, it is right there. I love you.
I love you too. I want to do...
I mean, you're past the time.
Yeah.
1728.
That is... But I need to be, like, 19 before I can do anything I want to do. And
Well, read some more books or something. What am I, your mom?
No. Okay, I'm gonna go buy more. Use my money to buy more books. This is irresponsible.
If that's what makes you happy, I mean, I guess.
How else am I gonna read the books?
Have you considered attacking Plaisance and beating her up for 10 XP?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
Storekeep.
A lot of shelf space.
What board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography.
Also, I think it's total BS that complicated board game took about an hour to teach and play. That's
yeah,
that's completely bonkers.
that's fair.
Browbeater is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do I have friends? I look at the lieutenant. Are you my friend, Kim?
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Yeah, kids, friends, chicks. I have all those. Does he raise chickens? Oh.
Nope, nobody's buying it. Do not buy. In the famous words of Darth Vader, do not buy.
It took me. I know a non-trivial number of people who raise chickens, so like it didn't.
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
I'm not spending 25 on the world game. I need money for
Yeah.
my thing tomorrow.
It's an expensive game.
Is it going to demoralize me to buy?
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring
Okay,
the
can I not buy the?
stalwart Vespertine detective. Dick crime fiction is a disgrace. And asinine, these books greatly overstate it. Furthermore, they have no idea how
This
hard
is very
it is
true.
to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Oh God, no.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime.
Alright, so, but I can... Yeah, let's find out about this innocent...
Shelves full of biographies of famous people.
A
person.
cultural touchstone. Enjoy.
Alright, so let's look at this book.
This dusty tome brings knowledge on the history of innocences. It is written by one Paulo Salomao Lopez de Fuego, a Mesque fascist, who tries to reach a conclusion on which of the innocences is the coolest in the world.
Oh. I'm gonna read this book so I can yell at it.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomao Lopez de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
I will crack open this immense tome.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here.
Oh, an endurance check. Okay.
Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Dolores Day.
Dolores Day?
Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
What?
A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, And the humans? That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
Sola.
Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence.
Huh.
Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again?
The Pericarnassian.
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party.
Huh.
Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Dolores Day?
Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest.
So I'm assuming here, it seems pretty obvious to me that the person that Harry has lost might be named Dolores or something similar.
Well, it seems pretty obvious to me that Harry was banging Dolores Day, the centuries-old greatest innocence.
I mean, that could be possible too. So it feels like I already lost morale doing this, and probably choosing that again will result in another morale loss, I'm thinking. But I want to keep picking at this scab a little bit while I have some charges on the thing.
Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, la autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again? Please, relax.
Vesper Messina?
Incorrect. Vesper Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vesper and Messina. Care to try again?
Doesn't sound too familiar to me. Shoot me a hint.
An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general, at least the parts that matter.
That's a very... It's very interesting what is being centered by that and what isn't. It's a very... This game is so interesting. Okay, very interesting, but it doesn't help me answer the question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
It's kind of like the exact opposite of you.
What does that mean?
Right? The perilous, the text of the perilous world, like...
Yeah, that's a good... Okay, yeah, that's a good That's a good point. I'm gonna say no, though. That doesn't really help.
Damn. Great. Dolores.
Franco Negro?
Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation.
That bastard.
Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue.
Ugh.
Question 3. Who was the false innocence?
All news to me, so maybe a few hints?
Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members.
I will sigh internally.
There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault.
You don't have like a super high level of encyclopedia.
No, I don't.
At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
Dolores.
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
How about...
No, stop thinking
Okay.
it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
Okay, how about Stepan the Despicable?
Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again?
I'll try Erno Pasternak.
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind.
You sound confident. Go right ahead. A hint would come in handy.
Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro.
You're absolutely certain of this?
0 doubts. While it was actually her.
Yeah, I'm picking Dolores Day.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful.
Wait, this was mentioned before, but I just... Inter-solary travel, is that like space?
What?
Is that like space travel?
No.
I don't know.
Like travel between isolas.
Oh! I was focusing on the solar part of the word. Never mind. Oh god. This is why I can't do your job. Because I'm going to embarrass myself all the time.
See, I do that too. The key is just to push through, act like you didn't notice.
Oh, let's see. I can't do that.
And more beautiful. And more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get an F for failure. Ha ha ha. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
Damn you, you arrogant book.
What's going on with you?
The lieutenant is jolted awake by your furious cursing.
Thinks it's so smart, goddamn.
Okay.
The lieutenant stares at you, his visage unflinching.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
I will put the book away.
Well, that was certainly a good use of your time.
Look, I'm trying.
Yeah, you're trying stuff, all right.
I already talked to you.
And also talking to you is unpleasant.
Hello again, esteemed
Yeah,
officer.
there's nothing there.
All right, here's the thing. We are 75 minutes into the episode. Do you maybe
Oh,
wanna
geez.
just...
Yeah.
Oh, geez, indeed. I think that's the sound of the curtain call around here. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Amabel, how do you feel like it's going?
I still feel really stuck. Like I progressed more time than last time, but like I have things I want to do. The game's not letting me do them yet, and
You did a lot of stuff last time. We investigated a whole building full of people.
That's true. That's true. It's just I want to skip ahead to the part where I can pick up my dice. I want to skip ahead to the part where I can interview the guy who's on top of the building. I want to get to those parts, and
those, if I may say, I'm not trying to be difficult. Those don't feel super murder related to me.
well, I'm also having trouble. Well, no, the guy may have seen something,
Yeah, sure.
and
But, all right, okay. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, I guess we're going to get some dice. And we'll see you then.